Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Josephine Agyapong. Without much as I do, please, I ask that you follow me here so we can get to the bottom of this. Okay. It is my singular privilege to introduce one of our own. He is a politician, a businessman, a philanthropist. He is in touch with not just the basic core party supporters, but cuts across all demographics and social standings. He speaks the language of the commoners, not only in NPP, but also Ghanaians. The truth of the matter is that he comes out as an honest broker in our beloved country. His character traits, love for the ordinary people, and achievement both as a business person and a politician is more than a quality that he possessed and qualifies him to be a celebrated personality while he is alive. With a standing, I would like to entreat all of us, please, for a moment, to rise off our seats as we welcome our next. Please let us welcome our beloved, Honorable Kennedy Akompreko. Kennedy Akompreko Agyapong, the Member of Parliament for Asin Central. Make sure we say more people. We now make sure we people. Please let us welcome our Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Your Excellency, my girlfriend, my sister, Hajia Alima. I don't want to get somebody scared. My first Deputy Speaker, fellow members, all protocol observed. Before I go on with this controversial topic, I would like to give you the history of MPP USA. And before I do so, I want us to recognize one person, Mr. Watson, if you are here. Please rise up. This was one of the 8 members who formed Danbury's group at York, Brooklyn, Flatbush. Nana Yamachi's apartment was apartment on the 8th floor. Flatbush. Yes. We have Mr. Boating, lawyer Asiedu, Boachia Jakon, Dr. Amwakon, myself. I think before we brought Kwame Usu and the rest in, who became the first MPP USA chairman. That was in 1990. With Mr. Agyapong was also one of us. And today I'm proud to see that the 8-member group now has expanded to almost 27 cities in America. and you're doing a marvelous job. And therefore, make us say, Mom said, Mom, Agyapong, why are so? Or Hinibina, or my constituency, or ex-military officer. Anytime you go to me, he will talk and talk and talk, nobody will clap. Then he will ask, Ebe, into almost say manana, no, I answer. You know, I want to read this topic that you've given me, because when I tell you the truth, by the time I get to Accra, you know, I'll have problems, but I'm not scared of the problems. I'll tell you like it is. So keeping the trust in MPP. We should clap for ourselves that we belong to a good political party. It is the only party that makes a difference in society, especially the ordinary people. Because our opponents believe that they are socialists. We believe that we are capitalists, but we take care of the ordinary people more than those who claim to be socialists. Because the socialists, as soon as they take power, becomes capitalists. And they amass wealth at the expense of the masses. But when we take over power as capitalists, we still take policies, implement policies that effect change in ordinary people's lives. And that is MPP for you. We want to take account of what MPP has done so far from President Kufuor's time. When President Kufuor took over in 2001, Ghana inflation was at 41%. Before he left, it was at 18.5. NDC came to power for 8 years. And from 18.5, when they were leaving, the interest rate was 36%. Today, the interest rate is 19% just recently, because the prime rate has been increased from 14.5 to 17. We're still better off than NDC. That is why I personally believe that Ghanaians' choice first is MPP political party and not any other party. Under President Kufuor's administration, the capitalists introduced what we call LEAP. The capitalists introduced a system where pregnant women went to hospital for free. It was a capitalist who gave free access to the junior high school. You went to school for free. The junior high school was introduced by President Kufuor. Look at the numerous development that was done under President Kufuor. But unfortunately, Ghanaians as we are, we do not appreciate good things. So whatever he did, we made a mistake, and our internal squabbles from our own end led us into opposition. Internal squabbles, our own led us to opposition. NDC did not contest the election and won. We gave the power to them. President Kufuor has taken over power. And look, a poor soul like myself will always appreciate President Kufuor, because I had classmates. I was the fourth boy in my class in my village. The first three guys couldn't go to secondary school. The first three guys couldn't go to secondary school. If it was a Kufuor's time at that time, these guys would have been medical doctors, lawyers, professionals. But today, when you see them, you feel sorry for them. So I appreciate what President Akufo-Addo has done with these free SHS. That ordinary people, for the first time in my constituency, a girl from my village had 7 A's and a B. 7 A's and a B. It has never happened in the history of my village. But because of the good policy of President Akufo-Addo, this girl is now going to university. Even when she had all these grades, 206 Ghana cedis for registration, she couldn't afford it. So can you imagine if you can't afford 206 cedis, how would you pay 2,000 to go to school? These are some of the opportunities and advantages of free SHS. And we should pat ourselves that because we elected President Akufo-Addo, that is why ordinary people are also showing their talents. They are capable, but because of poverty, you look at them and you think they are stupid. But now with Akufo-Addo's free SHS, talents are being developed. Talents are being tapped from these resources that they are getting. Again, we are not talking of only free SHS. There is one program that Akufo-Addo has introduced that I want some of you here to take advantage of. That is one district, one factory. One constituency, one factory. Because what is involved, if you don't make an attempt, you wouldn't know the importance of this one district, one factory. Why I say so is that I had always believed in myself that I don't want to get myself in government, anything with government that will make me rich. I don't want to get involved, meaning I don't want to buy a land, government property and all those things. But one day, an Indian told me, Honorable, I'm building a steel plant and they are the contractors buying the equipment and everything. And he told me something. He said, look, go under one district, one factory, and all the duties will be exempted. I didn't believe him, but fortunately, I happened to be on the flight with Honorable Alain Martin, and I told him that this is what I'm doing. And he said, come to my office, register under one district, one factory. And I did. And trust me, with a duty of about $4 million duty for the equipment, I'm now paying just $400,000. And that is for only Ghanaians. It's for Ghanaians, not for foreigners. It's a policy that is empowering Ghanaians to own their own businesses. And this is going to create jobs. So when you hear one district, one factory, it is not just a joke that we're coming out saying that one district, one factory. I am a witness and I testify for the advantages of the one district, one factory. Again, planting for food. Now, look at America. You are here. The way things are expensive. You see, you are giving us all these foods here. Good. Those days, when we were going to school, we thought God didn't like us. That is why he put us in those villages for us to be poor, eating plantain, cassava, and all those. But now, because of my sugar, I always want to eat plantain and condomere. And as I speak, we have plantain and condomere in Ghana. And it is not by magic. It is prudent management and proper policies that this government has implemented. That is why Ghanaians, at least, we have food to eat. But we allow opposition always to undermine the good works of this government, and nobody is bold to stand up to them. I mean, clap for yourself that you belong to an MP. Somebody talks about Dr. Baumia and says digitization. You know what this man has done for the country? When an NDC man was given a contract of $1.2 billion, Dr. Baumia used $4 million to execute this project. Do your mathematics. How much will save the country? And we are not proud of ourselves. When you hear them ranting, then we believe in them. NDC members, they are just myopic thinkers. They are not dreamers. They don't think big. Yesterday I was listening to argument where Asempa, a guy was criticizing the cathedral that they are building. I phoned in and told the guy that, look, I have to say A, B, C, D, but I think time was not on his side. But maybe America here, you don't believe in the churches too much. But let us go to Europe and see how churches are contributing to tourism and revenue of the cities or countries. First, I've been to Barcelona, Sagrada Familia. 3 times I want to pay 25 euros to enter. I couldn't get a chance to enter. It's fully booked. When I stood outside, like Ghana would call a kiosk, a container, they were selling the pictures of the churches and all those things. I had to spend 84 euros before I left the place. I go to Hamburg, we go through the excavator will take you, or the elevator will take you to the highest point of the Catholic Church. You see in Hamburg, and you pay for it. Strasbourg in France, I was there with Esla, Minister of Communication. And around the Strasbourg Roman Catholic Church, everywhere, restaurants, they are eating, drinking, selling pictures of it. They make money out of it. But Ghana, yesterday, when I listened to the argument, I said, Jesus Christ, these are the people deciding the fate of our country because people believe in them. Ukujetu Ablakwa was talking and I was listening. This boy is naturally born bad. The boy, he's so envious of successful people. I have a list. I've heard that he's challenging that he didn't travel. When I gave all the information, I will go and show his passport and give his date of birth when he traveled. The number of times, the numerous travels this guy made as Deputy Minister of Education. He got nerves to talk about president. A president who takes, assuming every hour costs $14,000 granted, the man comes home with about $100 million project. $100 million project. $200 million project. How much would he have spent if hourly is 14,000? Calculated 24 hours, 24 hours. He never spends more than 4 days and he comes back. Do the calculation yourself and see. Compare to what Akufo-Addo brings home to the country. But we are not able to talk. We allow them to do this propaganda and we also buy into it. I have a friend in London that he picked me up. We had a fight from Heathrow Airport to my hotel because he believes in social media and nothing else, and he doesn't want to take any explanation from me. You see, NDC is dictating the pace for us, and we have become consumers of information. We don't digest. You have to digest information and see why this was said, what was said, and when it was said. Then you take a decision yourself. If not, all the good works that we are doing, MPP, it will come to naught. It will come to naught. So I want to assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that you should be a proud member of MPP because we have done marvelously for this country. If not, COVID. From 2017 to 2019, NDC, and we are talking of Mahama, give Mahama to me one-on-one and let's see in the debates. I'll floor him in a second. Mahama takes us to, and within a year, Kenoforiata takes us back. Under Mahama, the harsh conditions given to us because he took us to IMF, we could not employ. Military was frozen, police, fire service, teachers, nurses were not paid. Because of the good policy of Akufo-Addo through Kenoforiata, we were able to win ourselves from IMF. And we are masters of our own destiny, deciding the fate of our youth by giving them employment. At least we have over 47,000 young men and women in the security forces. And we will continue to employ them. Under NDC, they couldn't. And we are not happy with all these things. You are here, you panic. That, oh, Ghana, maybe I'm aware of it. Momuko Jumua, grocery. Rubber bag, Yadishim Krabitria, $1. Speaker for 2 trip. Yakwa Bekan was it. Grocery shop. Rubber. Then we have a part of the because we used the old system. But things have changed. And the way President Akufo-Addo managed the COVID in Ghana, look at the number of people that died in this country. America, with all their sophistication, what happened to them? But Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo, and his team were able to manage the economy, COVID in such a way that, look at the number of people that died. Please, it is an achievement and it is record. You're talking of, now they come out with the propaganda that we have to show the amount of money we spent, COVID and all those things. We'll be able to prove to them. And surprisingly, NDC and those opposition members, they are the people who demand a lot from government. And when they get it, because MPP, they know that we have to work and make money. If you don't work, you don't make money. So we are always working. NDC people believe in socialism. They sit, nothing, they don't do anything, and they just collect the money. Create, loot, and share. That is all they do. So please, under this government, we have done marvelously well. But we also have problems. We have problems. And I'll be straight and blunt. Look, when you look at the flashy programs that were being implemented the first term of President Akufo-Addo, we shouldn't have lost MPs like that. You should ask yourself, why did we lose? In the history of MPP, read my lips. When you swallow a bitter pills, you heal faster. So I'll let you know. For the first time, executives were openly supporting candidates against sitting MPs. Openly, executives. When I say executives, before I come to national executives, national executives, regional executives, constituency executives, they were all supporting candidates openly. It has never happened before. So those who lost were bitter. They decided, and some of them were also disqualified. So they decided, well, if you don't want me, let me stay somewhere. And it really cost us. One of them, I happened to be at the executive meeting, and one chairman was throwing his weight about as if he's the richest person, and when he talks, the president looks at him, vice president looks at him, and the guy is screaming all over at the committee, National Executive Committee meeting, and nobody says anything. I said, please, wake up, wait a minute. Who are you? You, a 40-year-old man, telling a 60-year-old MP, a 6-term MP, that he doesn't respect, and therefore you remove him. Who born dog? Who born dog? He goes again. I will not allow anybody to contest Offensive North or Offensive South. I had the report here. I said, listen, this man will win. And he won with a margin of 17,000. Whereas the person who was there, the MP, his margin at that time was 4,000. Baby, they said they will not allow Alfred Obeng to contest. I said, how? The man has to contest. The margin of the sitting MP was also 4,000. He also won by 18,000. Why? Open discrimination, favoritism. That is the challenge we have, and politicians, we don't learn. It is still going on. It's going on. And this time, like you said, your quotation, if the first time was a mistake, the second time is a choice. So your choice is just handing over power to NDC because we didn't change. We need to change. I mean, you have grassroots who are peeved. They are peeved because when they were sitting in pickups, going around screaming, he did not ask them of certificates. He did not. When you win power, your level of education, your level of education. Now, how are you going back to tell them that they should go and campaign? This is the problem we have. NDC will be able to tell the military, look, there's a lady here right now telling me she gave her son's Air Force to one of the top guys, or a lady, but the lady couldn't help. Couldn't help because the military will look at you and say that you didn't pass your medical exams, you have failed. That is the excuse the technical guys are using to disqualify protocol. Everywhere, whether you like it or not, there is protocol. Everywhere, even in America here, there is protocol. It is only under NPP that when you give protocol, they are able to turn you down. We are weak. Come on, we should wake up. We are weak. These are some businesses that we need to change, and it's deliberate. It's deliberate. Another big problem we have is that those who get appointments, those who get businesses, who see a friend and pretend nothing has been given to him, lamenting. They have the contracts, they have the positions, but they'll come and tell you, my philosophy is that if you tell Mr. A, who has not gotten anything, that at least I have something, it gives him hope that maybe tomorrow will be his turn. But if you go and pretend that nothing has been happening, and the way they'll say it, they destroy the party more. The very people who have gained go out there and lament as if nothing has been done to them. Such ungratefulness is also not helping our party. Then you should have a godfather before you get appointment in the party. Godfather. And those of us who don't have Godfather, that, you know, yes, you should have Godfather before you get appointment in the party. That is also a problem. We need to reward hard work. We need to reward hard work. We need to identify people who sacrifice their life to make it possible for MPP to come to power. But America for the Nisa Mubom because Kufuado why be a mom papa. America for why be a mamu. When the chairman was speaking, I said, where the American plan? I disagree with him. May you say, oh, no, don't go and say that. Look, the pictures you show here, they are not enough. Americans who has appointment under Akufo-Addo's government, you have 41. Yes. 41. Now the problem is Muna monya positions, you know. Muna monya positions, you know. Take care of people who have not gotten anything. Munim very well, sir. Amo Motia Majiji appointment when you know Obaya Memeko. Me one Obaya frame. Meba Obaya frame na we my contribution here. I'm say catch the guys and America for first. Home na Gigi sika breyo. Afraid you conference here near this girl. Now London France wa frame. Women's wing you know. I'm so frame na back me bisa say why. I say most of the members are peeved because Omunyari. I'm saying, how can you say that to Akufo-Addo? US and UK appointment at Munyanyi anyway. Because Munyara no Mudia Munyara no Maya Muye Mushamoyere no ma Mon kanchira me say mo amonya appointment no. How many of you and na mo ko campaign no of ya mo de mo maka ho na eko? How many? How many? Ebaya. And you say with all these appointments, nobody, and I say nobody, was able to contribute $10,000. When I say more buy 10,000, I say, "Ish, one what you 10,000." Now appointment be no amonyano and where they. Now I'm afraid. My friend, my chief executive, Mr. Cratch, who now Houston, we are part of MPP USA, and on also 10,000. Mon can check me say more maji appoint. What your contribution yourself, Fabra. They say I'm the benefit we have also gotten from this party, sacrifices we have made. Maybe said, Akufo-Addo has honored a lot of you for your hard work. Let us give back. Let us give back to our base. Let's give back to our base. Because it was through MPP USA. And Deputy, if he said, we've made some mistakes, but overall, our performance supersedes the mistakes that we've made. If you say, it's still a good party that we don't have to be discouraged, we have to continue to support. And it's you today, it's me tomorrow. Definitely, it's going to be your turn. Don't give up. And in life, if you give up, you have failed. So we don't have to give up. You should wake up to a hope. You wake up in the morning, there is hope that once you have life, you're going to make it. And once you belong to MPP party, at least if you don't get financial benefit from you, today you have peace of mind because those of you here, every 4 a.m. phone call before Akufo-Addo came, oh sister no more, woman no pe member omu odin, ebe you omu adwuma no, omu ko wu wi a. Eba, oh bra, and a Grace school fees, you know. Sister, and John school fees, you know. And through Akufo-Addo, you don't hear all these things. The first phone call, pressure beer, etimi mawono, you have no idea. At least, if you don't have financial benefit, kranwa, what for CBA and cover your burden, you know, and we're a burden of the state through the good policies of President Akufo-Addo. And therefore, let's be happy. Say, we belong to a good political party. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give Honorable a big hand of applause again. That was a very, very powerful message. And it goes for you and you and you. And we all understand what he's saying. I think that in as much as we have contributed in our various chapters, if there are government appointees among us, we may have to set up a little fund that will be collecting something in. Because when we wait till there is a program or there's something going on and you call and ask somebody for $1,000 and now $2,000, so if we start putting something small down in those coffers, when come another function and they call us, there is an NPUS appointee small club somewhere that we can pick out of that and help out. Thank you. So our next on the program is our sessions. We're going to have some Q&A sessions that members here will have the opportunity to ask questions from the panel, and then we're going to have Q&As and panel discussions. So I'll hand over to my moderator here, Prince, to call on the members of the discussion.
Thank you very much. And if we have MBPUS endowment fund, right? Is it true? It's doable. And we trust in our appointees, just as we keep in the trust in MPP. Without much ado, we are far behind time, so I will be speeding up a bit to get things going. This session will be, like I said, more interactive, and we'll have to get the best. Our goal is to get the best from our panelists and also leverage their expertise on this topic, and we'll have opportunity to also have questions from the audience, and then we can also partake as well. So to do that, first on my list, let's say ladies first, right? So I have Miss Napaga Tia Sulemana. She is the coordinator, Government Special Development Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, can you give her a round hand of applause as she takes it, please? Thank you so much. So wonderful.
Oh, I go here.
All right, please, you can take the first seat for me. And I do also have Dr. David Infojo. Dr. David Infojo happens to be the parliamentary candidate 2024 Whole West. In fact, for the first time, with me, he received votes now by over 10,000. Very encouraging. We look forward to 2024. And he wants me to say this. He is an Adisco boy. Adisco for more. Come on, give it to him. I do also have Alhaji Abdul Hanan, CEO of Ghana Buffer Stock. They're doing so great to support the free high school, feeding program as well. Last but not the least, I do have Mr. Isaac Ifa Kwatin He is the CEO of Menak Shipping, a parliamentary candidate hopeful. Hopeful for South. Hey, boss, are you? And you're one of the best ones. Please take the seat on that far end. And before we get into serious business, I am a founding member of Columbus, Ohio chapter, and the immediate past first vice chairperson of Columbus chapter. And I want to take this opportunity to wish my deputy women's organizer, Madam Paulina Apia, a happy birthday, or happy Mr. Whoever is closer to her, give her a hug for me, please. Thank you. Women in politics, we need more. I appreciate that. All right, just like I said, the goals, we want to make it so nicely. So we'll keep the ball rolling, and then the Q&A session will follow through. But this one, I will start, and then we'll take others as well. So I'll start from my beautiful madam here. So we've had many dignitaries talking about keeping the trust in MPP, and we are focusing on recognizing our mistake. It's very broad, but I want to have, a first take from each of you. Same question from me, and I just want to ask, what do you make of the theme in general? Keeping the trust in MPP, recognizing our mistakes. I'll start from you.
It's a good battery. Oh, okay.
Considering the theme we have chosen for today, I think it's the best theme for the time. It's the best theme for the time. Considering the fact that we've been through our first election in the year 2020, and then we made some losses, which almost cost us. It's now time to sit and reflect on how those losses came about and try to make progress. We can't go into the 2024 elections with this same attitude that led us to where we are today. So it's the best team for now, and I'm really glad I'm a panel member to have a discussion on it. Thank you.
Dr. Mfojo, having been in the campaign for 2020 and having done your best, I know you have some experiences. Share with us with this theme.
Yeah, lots of mistakes were made in the 2020 campaign. And even right now, from the constituency level to the regional level, like Honorable Senior Santa said, we are still making the same type of mistakes. My experience is that if we don't tackle these mistakes, the faith will be broken. We may go back to opposition. And I'm going to go micro level because Honorable went to macro. The Honorable will send 10,000 to every constituency. But that money, nobody follows how that money is used. Parliamentary candidate will get logistics. Nobody follows what the parliamentary candidate does with the money. Money comes to the constituency account, or logistics come. Nobody follows. So those are the type of mistakes that is also costing us. So we have to be able to fix that. Even buying of the forms. 4 candidates sent money to buy forms for the grassroots. Only 1 form was bought per person. What happened to the rest of the money? Nobody knows. So we have to recognize that mistake, fix it, come together, and break the 8. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honorable Alhaji Hanan, what could we have done better? We made a lot of inroads, but along the lines, there were 1,001 mistakes, and we are trying to make amends. What could we have done better?
Thank you very much. I can specifically speak for the 5 regions of the North. In the last election, I was all over in every constituency of the 5 regions of the North. Personally, I have made a number of donations. What was so unique about my donation was 5 motorbikes each to every parliamentary candidate in the 5 regions of the North, namely Upper East, elections. It is no more a presidential and parliamentary election, but it's going to be a parliamentary-based elections. The quality of parliamentary candidates we put in various constituencies will determine whether we'll be able to break the 8. It's very important. Look, there are some parliamentary candidates who have never set their eyes to 5,000 Ghana cedis. So just imagine people like Agyapong and others supporting them with thousands of cedis. All that they could do is to channel it into different things. They didn't focus on the campaign. So the quality of parliamentary candidates that will put at various constituencies is what would determine whether we'll be able to break the 8 or not. Because going into the next election to make a history of a political party going beyond the 8 years, you need candidates that the electors will look beyond the white, blue, and red to vote for. Not just they are voting because you are an MPP, but they should see the potential in the candidates we are going to put in various constituencies so that they can vote massively for them. And what also got me very sad is just this ended constituency and regional elections. The amount of money people are paying to delegates. I know for a fact that a regional chairman aspirant was even paying 30,000 Ghana cedis per delegate. So then I asked myself, in the last election, 2020 election, where were they? There's all these monies. In my own region, Upper East region, one of the poorest regions in Ghana, I was the only government appointee going around in the region prior to the elections. But today, just these ended regional elections, you can see monies flying, favorite candidate. People can sponsor internal election. Meanwhile, the external one that will sustain our power, they are nowhere to be found. So I think it's very important we look at it and make the 2024 elections a parliamentary-based elections. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is really, really powerful. What are we saying as NPP USA? What is going to be our quota that we have to take to our constituencies and into our regions to make sure that this mistake does not happen again? Okay, Mr. Hwating, you are coming from the grassroots. What is the talk of the town? What is on the ground? What are the grassroots saying, and what do they want from the top?
Thank you very much for your question. First of all, keeping the trust in NPP is the only option we have. There is no NDC government that will be any way, shape, or form be able to compete with any NPP government in Ghana. So before we leave here, let us all fully understand that point, that it's NPP Ghana, MPP Ghana alone. Once we understand that, then when we are going to war, we know that victory is already on our side. On the grassroots, one of the major things that you hear once you talk to the people is that minyahre. Every polling station you go to, every executive you speak to, mide minyahre. And so I go on and ask them, aren't you getting some stipends? Aren't you getting little things here and there? And it looks like they are saying minyahre. And so this is what I think we can do to fix that. The government has a program that covers the whole nation. So let's say government is making roads. It covers everybody. Free SHS covers everybody. However, the party has to have a program which is very constituency specific. So let me take Kranza South, for example. 75% of the population are farmers. They can't afford fertilizers. They can't afford weedicides. But we expect them to be able to be the breadbasket of the nation. So what can we do? We as a party need to develop a program. So for example, let's say we buy tractors. And we say, if you rent a tractor, it's 200 cedis to plow an acre. We, the party, are going to give you a tractor that is going to plow for you at, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis. We're going to use that 100 Ghana cedis to buy fuel and then keep some also to maintain the tractor. Once we do that, we begin to see that if MPP farmers or MPP farms are being plowed, guess what? If I speak to my NDC brother and he sees a change in my farm, my production has gone up, guess what? It's easy to bring him over. And so I think that is what I think we can do to solve that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In as much as we want our constituencies to enjoy what is going on, we as individuals will have to also explain to them that there are opportunities that comes to us that they are across the board, but they are very intangible. There are some opportunities that everybody is enjoying that you cannot put your finger on. There are some opportunities that our family members are enjoying that they don't even know that it exists. Minyahwe no. Sabi obi ani hwa obi nyane de nko. Na say ye de ba in a big pot. No bi etimi nya bi dia. Wonya bibi no no. Inti so obi ka kire so onyahwe ya ka kire ne say ye the free education about sa 20 cedis na say 100 cedis no that they had to use in paying school fees no. It's an extra money in your pocket. Obetimi dia bibi foforo. Inti no wonya bibi because obi antimi nya bibi wo. Thank you very much for your contributions, and we're going to go back to our audience here and our members to also come out with the questions that is bothering them. There are a lot of topics that has been spoken. It doesn't have to be this specific. All the topics that has been deliberated on today. If you have any questions about it or any clarification or something that you think is bothering you that it will take you home. Ebetimi ama oko constituency aka bibi pa atchero mo ama atomu trim. Mbetimi ebisa. Thank you very much.
All right, before we take the question, can we give a better hand of applause for my panelists? They were carefully selected and they've delivered. We'll take 4 questions and possibly 2 females and 2 gentlemen. I want to be fair. Pacho in the middle. Microphone no I ba ko pe it is a kahabe din what maka sakran kiepe. But I'll do it for you.
My name is Jim Kusi from New York chapter. We are gathered here recognizing, recover, and retain. 2024 is not going to be easy. Everybody knows. My question is, what are we going to do different in order to win and win big using digitization and the grassroots? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any of you, do we take all the questions before, or maybe one more question and then, all right, I want a female, one female from this side, so it will fair. Who on this side? I have our side. Maybe I show my men pick you. Right. We a she-male.
Kukrudu! 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 Rado. My concern is about us voting. What are you going to do to help us to vote? Thank you.
Is it the diaspora voting or voting diaspora? Okay, so we have two questions, one from the gentleman and the lady. Any of you can start answering the question. So we have two questions, and after that, the next two questions will come from this side.
Do you have any, in regards to our second question for ROPA, it's been hanging for a very long time. And I believe that it will go a very long way to augment our votes. As much as we want to vote, we also want to protect the integrity of our voting and the integrity of the Ghana politics as well. ROPA is very important, but do we need it? And if we do, how much is it going to help us?
Yeah, of course, I think it's very important because today, both the major political parties, MPP, NDC, we have their foreign branches supporting the activities of the party that gives birth to the various governments. And the reality is that somebody living here has recognized the fact that I have a hometown, this is where I belong to, and I am supporting. So of course, in as much as I want to protect the integrity of our voting, but of course there have been several deliberations. I know maybe given the opportunity, the first deputy speaker and Ajia Alima will have more information to, share with us regarding that. And I think it is important. It is important that okay. Yes, first deputy speaker would have more to share with us regarding the ROPA. So I'll leave it at this point, and after that, then we'll continue with the other question.
Very well. To be fair, Parliament has done its part. The law has been passed. And we said we are leaving it to the Electoral Commission to implement it. But any time it is brought on the table for discussion, what derails it is our mutual mistrust of the parties. If MPP is in power, NDC will do everything to frustrate it because they don't trust that it will be used fairly. If NDC is in power, MPP will do everything to frustrate it because we don't trust that it will be used fairly. We're just discussing it, and somebody said, my fear is Togo. Is that right? And if you ask me, it's a legitimate fear. But for somebody who is an NDC operator, his fear may be US and Europe, because that's where we also dominate. So the challenge is how we will build the trust, cross-party trust, to let the implementation happen. Every election period, it comes back. The Electoral Commission tries to implement it, but one or the other of us frustrated. So I can't give a firm answer because we still mistrust each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it is a work in progress. And maybe we're going to make some inroads. No, we're going to answer the next question.
Second question. So on the second question,
yes, please.
By the gentleman, I'm very happy we all agree with each other here that the 2024 elections is not going to be easy because we are about to make a history. We are attempting to make a history. It has never happened before. But we can only do this when we are united, not just about digitization. We can digitize every aspect of our lives. But when we are not united, especially with our internal, elections, creation of camps, and making it very difficult for our base to move along with us. The reality is that MPP first. We are seated here because MPP is in power. Most of us have flew to United States because MPP is in power to speak to our dear brothers and sisters here. So the unity of the party is very important. Of course, we have internal elections. You can bite each other, but not to the bone. We have to be very careful with our choice of words. People have expressed interest in leading the party. It's a bold decision. Everybody is welcome. We have our system, and we must follow the system and elect those that will lead us into the promised land to break the eight. So it is very important. And of course, digitizing what we are doing. Sometimes we don't make good use of the social media because there is a lot of jokes and false, information on the social media. But it's actually a medium for us to use and propagate the good work that we are doing. Gone are the days in the 1992 elections where some polling stations, they haven't even voted, but elections were declared because nobody is there to even verify. Today we have social media. Whatever you are doing, people take pictures and videos, they circulate. Whatever is happening in South Korea, you sit in Bunkurugu, you see it live. I remember when this propaganda about me and Atifa and former Party General Secretary John Boadu on our way to South Korea for the same party program. It happens to be on my birthday, and we're on Ethiopian airline. So a small treat was given to the birthday boy, and it became a news in Ghana that we have chartered the whole Ethiopian airline flight to have a birthday. You understand? So some people believed in that. Some people believe in that. So the good work that we are doing, like Honorable Agyapong said, people have actually taken or benefited from this government. But because there are no system to track what has been given to them, somebody will leave my office and go to Agyapong's office. I remember there was a day he called me. No, I actually went to him. Then somebody just left there with a complaint that, he came to, he basically was a former chairman. He came to Bufferstock and there was nothing, he didn't get anything. When I pulled the record out of what I have given him, Agyapong was shocked. So this is what is happening almost all the place. People want to eat their cake and have it. We must have a system to track. Somebody who just wants to move to every office to grab here. The reality is that everybody would have to feast little by, little. So it is important that we digitize and have a system where we can track what we are doing to ourselves. That will help us maintain our core base. It's very important to maintain our core base because we know we have a larger number and the good people of Ghana have faith in us. We must be able to protect and keep that faith intact.
Let me add just a little bit to the question, to what my brother has shared. We are in an age where digitization is here to stay. And we've been very fortunate that the party, through some of the elders here, have started a journey. And so we have no choice but to continue that journey. However, I think there are certain areas where we need to have some kind of a hybrid. So let me give you an example. There's a town called Bonkro in my constituency where there's no electricity, there's no internet service, there's no water. And so if you come from such a place, right, and you live there now, and digitization is coming that way, it's a challenge. However, if we can provide some kind of a small solar system, very small ones they put on their roofs, they can use that to listen to the radio. They can use that to charge their phones. And then they become part of the digitization agenda. And so we have no choice but to get there. And I know that major strides have been taken. And I'm pretty sure that very soon, most places will get online just like we are here.
Thank you so much. We have 2 more questions, and I did say that it's going to brief. I have 6 minutes to wrap this up, and I have 2 questions. It has to be short and straightforward. Please, I'll have a lady and a gentleman. I'll take a lady from this pile and then gentleman from this pile. Obapa Kasa. Oh, I don't know her. What, Columbus?
No, DC. Kukurudu. Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to Her Excellency, Ambassador. My question is going to be about education. Ghanaian students who want to travel to the US to study. I say congratulations to her because I know that we have 50% scholarship for students that travel to the US. I was a beneficiary. I went to Michigan Andrews University. So the scholarship is there, but the problem is students do apply and they don't get dates for interviews, or they are not able to have a chance to come to the US. I do recruiting with my company, and we have a bunch of students at the embassy waiting and they don't have even an appointment. Can't they do something about it?
All right, thank you. One gentleman from this pile. Who we want to talk? Mr. Mamenya Fekakra. Quickly.
Yeah, my question is, how do we protect our elected officials? How do we protect our people that we put up there? They also need protection. You see, we send them over there and we bring them down. You talk outside the family to other people. So how do we protect them? You should know. Sometimes it's so heartening that you hear somebody from outside who never pay a dues, a dime for the party. You can say, when you are elected, you shouldn't help your family. And they are so. But you hear maybe a cousin so happy talking about manya this contract. Now, what you do now, when you hear that. And you know, I hate your chest. So, one side can say, not me. How do we protect them when something like that come back? I send a car to Ghana from my agency. We do free screening, quick one. And then I wanted this car for them so that they can go to villages and screen older people for the party. And now, Kano Achoko Habo, I spoke to Obaya. He explained to me, so Abed, you should have done the homework before you send it there. I said, oh, okay. Then the car was gone. I wasn't sad because my sister explained to me. Now I'm here. Next time I will do diligently, you know. See, that's why the party need to be protected. And that's like my question, baby. With the car, near far car. But since Obaya explained to me, understand what we need to protect our selected or elected officials.
All right. You know what? Me pese Napaga to answer this question, and then Ambassador will give a word if she's ready, and then we'll take a last question. You have the mic.
Thank you very much. When he was speaking, I just made a little note on that. When we speak about protecting our electoral officials, are we talking about making sure that they stay in power beyond the 4 years, or are we talking about the attacks? With the attacks, I think that we need to build a more solid communication system. We need a very solid communication system. Sometimes when something bad is happening within the MPP, we are the first to go on social media and break it out. You go on social media, there's an MPP person who is in trouble. I'll give you a good example. Very recently, we had the issue of Sir John's will on social media. I mean, if you go on Facebook, for example, you would see the number of MPP people who had put it up there and they were happily sharing and blasting. That was an internal issue. In as much as possible, you might.
Hello. Yeah, let's listen to her and then we can make a decision on that, please. Let's listen to her.
Kukrudu. as much as possible, you might not be happy with whatever was going on out there, but you should always put it at the back of your mind that my government, right or wrong, my government, right or wrong. If you go out there, first of all, so the whole thing is, when such a thing is happening, as an MPP member, I would advise that you don't even venture into the whole insulting thing. Because these things that we do today is what is going to hunt us back in 2024 when we go for the elections.
Yeah.
Kukrudu. 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 A lot.
Yeah.
I see a lot of you are not really agreeing to what I'm saying, but.
Doc can the rapper give it to Doc. Why?
Hello, please. We have just 2 minutes to end this. Allow her.
Our vote. Yes, protecting appointees. I don't really believe that we should be talking about that, because it is incumbent on every appointed appointee of every government to protect him or herself. Your good work should protect you. Nobody insults Kennedy Agyapong. Nobody insults him, because he is guided by his good works and is loved by his good works. Rather, what I am thinking we should be concerned about is that every appointment of this government should be a probational base. You should be evaluated based on your performance, the acceptability, how accessible you are before you are even given a 1 year or beyond that contract. It is important that nobody should just be given a flat appointment. We appointees should be evaluated. It should be in fact, your appointment should come with a directive. For example, we have cabinet ministers who when they are given that appointment, they feel like it is just for them and their family. Meanwhile, it's a regional representation. It's not just about your constituency. It is about the region, how you take care of the region. So what I think we should be doing is that, like I said, every appointment should be probational.
Thank you.
Subject to evaluation of your performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will go to our Her Excellency the Ambassador. Okay. Okay. Microphone.
Right now.
Of Achimota land, and they decided to sell. Me, I said no. They drove me there, but I said no. It's different from Sir John. Look, whatever we have to say, we have to be mindful of the party that whatever NDC is setting the agenda, it will come to hunters. Sometimes there are no truth in it. So we have to be careful with Sir John's issue of 6 plots. And any day may catch it, when I declare my assets, and yeah, you'll be shocked. Because when I was reading Sir John's, I said, but this is peanuts. Okay? Then you'll be shocked. So I put myself in the person's shoes. Say, hey, if I'm dead today, this is what is going to happen, even within my own party. So we have to be careful. I think that is the angle she was coming from. It is not everything that we read in social media is the truth.
Social media, okumfodumfo. Let's be very mindful what is on the social media, what we consume, and what we digest. I'll call on Her Excellency, Madam Ambassador, to give us an answer to the question the lady asked about the education and the students with scholarships.
Please, can we have some